Hi everyone, welcome to Netgate Chemistry. So today we are going to start the topic solid state. In solid state, we are first going to understand some of the common terms. So the first term which we are going to study is crystal lattice. Crystal lattice, it is regular arrangement of constituent particles in space. Okay, it is the regular arrangement of constituent particles in the space. Once we write all the terms, we'll understand them one by one. So the second term is unit lattice. It is the smallest part of complete crystal lattice which is repeated again and again in all three directions. So this is your unit lattice. Third is your lattice point. It is the constituent particle which generates a unit cell. So if you want to understand this, I'm going to first introduce two-dimensional geometry to you. So suppose we have a crystal lattice like that. Like this, we have a crystal lattice. So here atoms will be present at these points. So this is two-dimensional lattice. So here I want to define the crystal lattice, the unit cell and the lattice point. So crystal lattice is the regular arrangement of constituent particles in space. So this is the regular arrangement of constituent particles. So this as a whole is your crystal lattice in two dimensions. Next is your unit lattice. Unit lattice is the smallest part which is repeated again and again. So if you observe, this is the smallest part which is getting repeated again and again. Basically the square is getting repeated again and again and forming crystal lattice. So the smallest part of this crystal which is getting repeated again and again is your unit lattice. This unit lattice is formed by 4 atoms which are present at these sites. So these sites are your lattice points where basically your atom or molecule or ion will be present. So this is basically, lattice point is basically the site which will be occupied by atom or molecule or your ion. So lattice points combine to form a unit cell and unit cells combine to form a crystal lattice. This is in two-dimensional, but we are talking about the arrangements in space in 3 dimensions. So instead of square, we can have a cubic arrangement like this. Okay, this cubic arrangement can be repeated again and again. Like this. This arrangement can be repeated again and again. And here your cube is going to be your unit lattice. And this which you are seeing, this is your crystal lattice. And all these points which are joining to form your crystal lattice or unit lattice, these are known as your lattice points. I hope these three terms are clear now. So now we'll go on to the fourth term, that is interfacial angle. The name itself tells about this term, that the angle between the two faces of any given crystal lattice. Suppose there is a cube and I want to find the interfacial angle between two faces. So if I take this face and this face, so what I have to observe is what will be the angle between these two faces. Basically this face and this front face, what is the angle between these two faces? This will be your interfacial angle. This face which is going inside and this face which is in the front, what is the angle between them? This is 90 degree. So here in this case, in case of cube, your interfacial angle is going to be 90 degrees. So this is your interfacial angle, that is angle between two adjacent faces. Next is coordination number. Coordination number is the minimum number of nearest neighbor surrounding a particular atom or molecule or ion present at lattice point. So this we are going to understand once we are going to see different types of unit cells, then we'll understand this better. Basically coordination number is the minimum number of atoms which will be present around a given atom. So that is going to be your coordination number. Sixth term which I want, it is not a term actually, it is a law of constancy of interfacial angles. I'm going to dictate this, you can write it down. This law states that the interfacial angle of a lattice remains constant no matter the size of a unit cell. This is your law of constancy of interfacial angles. Basically it says that if suppose this is a cubic unit cell and there's another cubic unit cell like this which is smaller in size, so no matter the size of a given unit cell, the angle between the faces will remain same. Whether it is a small cube, will take the angle that is coming out to be 90 degree. Whether it is a bigger cube, we take the interfacial angle that is also 90 degrees. So this is your law of constancy of interfacial angle. So next we are going to discuss about the types of unit cells. What are the types? So far we have discussed only one, that is cubic, but there are so many other types also. So these are categorized in two ways. One is your primitive, that are your primitive unit cells, and the other are non-primitive unit cells. In primitive unit cell, the atoms are present at corners only. For example, in case of polonium. Next are your non-primitive unit cells. In these type of unit cells, atoms are present at corners as well as they occupy other sites. For example, body-centered cubic unit cell, face-centered cubic unit cell, etc. That is, instead of having atoms at the corner, they are having atoms at other sites also. Here your simple cubic lattice is present, which is like this. Suppose this is a cubic unit cell, so the atoms will be present at all the 8 corners. Like this. In case of non-primitive unit cell, the atoms will be present at the corners, but they will occupy some other site also. For example, I am showing here the case of BCC. Here atoms are present at all the 8 corners, as well as they are occupying the body center also. Also, there is an example of FCC. Here atoms will occupy the 8 corners again, and they will be present at each face center also, like this: front face center, back face center, left center, right face center, front, bottom center, up center, like this. This is your FCC and this is your BCC. This is your simple cubic, or you can say SCC. So these are your types of unit cells. So far that's it for this video. In the next video we'll be covering the topics like the number of atoms present in each type of unit cells, that is the primitive and non-primitive unit cells, and the voids like the tetrahedral and octahedral voids which are present in the FCC structure, and we'll also discuss the relation between the radius and the edge lengths in SCC, FCC, BCC, etc. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching.